Hey, what's going on, guys? It's G-Rad here, and in this video I would like to talk to you about EZDrummer 2 and SIBIAC. We have been working on this plugin for a while now, and we're excited to bring it to you guys, just as I'm excited to be able to use it. And with SIBIAC, you can actually run EZDrummer 2 in Reaper, or you can run it in standalone mode. And you have complete functionality of the drum kit and the mixer. So, with that having been said, I'm going to run SIBIAC in standalone mode for the purposes of this video. And while doing so, I want to make mention of a couple of things. We do have something new integrated into this where you can push F1 and it acts as a virtual helping assistant or a virtual manual with instructions on how to operate the interface, more specifically the particular section in which you are in. And with this overlay, we are using a different script with SIBIAC to learn how to navigate the different kit pieces from all the different expansions. And the reason I mention this is because every time you purchase a new expansion with EZDrummer 2, whenever you load it, the kit layout is completely different. So what we did is we have it to where the mouse actually scans the area where the drum kit is located in the interface, and we actually have the mouse looking for all the click points, and it'll compile everything into a really easy to navigate list. So with that being said, I'm now going to open EZDrummer in standalone mode.
EZDrummer 64. Untitled EZDrummer. EZDrummer. Preset basic.
And as you'll notice, the first thing you come to is your preset selection area. And this is where you can choose the different expansions and the presets available for these expansions. I'll give you an example.
Context menu. Claustrophobic submenu C. Drums of Destruction submenu D. EZDrummer 2 Modern check submenu E. Basic check B. 80 save. Disco pop D.
And you can navigate these using the up and down arrows and the left and right
EZDrummer 2 Mod.
But I'm going to stick with the default modern kit.
Preset basic.
And if you want to know how to operate anything in particular, you can actually push F1 and the virtual help assistant will actually explain everything to you.
Preset selection control. Use left and right arrows to audition current preset name and package. Use up and down arrows to select previous and next preset. Press enter to open context menu. You can return to this control pressing Control plus B.
Nifty feature. It is available with EZDrummer 2. Alright, so now that you know how to use the preset section, you can actually tab and it'll take you to where the pages of the interface are.
Page drums. Mixer.
And you have the drums and the mixer pages available to you.
Drums.
Right now we're going to focus on the drum kit part. And what I'm going to do now is when I tab again, it's going to tell me something different.
Kit layout unknown. Make sure that your transport is stopped, then press enter to start learning.
This is where I was talking about the mouse being used as a scanner to kind of learn where the kit layout is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter.
Learning has started.
And now
Please
the
do not
mouse
use your
is
keyboard
going
until
to
SIBIAC
scan
informs you that learning is complete. This will take a few minutes.
And now the mouse is literally going to scan the area where the drum kit section of the interface is. And it's going to look for all the click points. And once it does that, it's going to go back
Still
and
learning.
try to
Please wait.
fine-tune all the click points. So when it starts telling you that it's testing kit pieces, that's when it's actually trying to fine-tune all the click
Testing
points.
kit pieces.
And this part takes a little while because all the animations on the kit have to completely stop in order for it to move on to the next piece. So it's going to do this for this kit.
Found 16 pads.
Sweet.
Learning is complete.
It found everything. Awesome. And now the kit is to your disposal, and you can actually navigate all the pads in sections by using keystrokes 1 through 8, or the keys 1 through 8 on the keyboard, and it divides it up by groups such as kick,
snare,
snare.
snare,
Sorry, I hit that again.
hi-hat,
Hi-hat,
floor tom 1,
toms,
rod,
ride,
cymbal 1.
cymbals,
No china in this kit.
chinas,
One shot pad.
and then auxiliary in addition to percussion parts that are otherwise not part of a drum kit. And as you heard, it has no chinas in this kit because there aren't any. And when I go to the toms,
Floor tom 1,
you'll notice that it starts with a floor tom, even though there's 5 of them, and you can actually navigate all the pieces using the left and right arrows as well.
kick, snare, hi-hat, floor tom 1, floor tom 2, rack tom 1, rack tom 2, rack tom 3, rod, cymbal 1, cymbal 2, cymbal 3, cymbal 4, one shot pad, shaker pad, tambourine pad, tambourine pad.
All right, so let's go back to the toms, which is
Floor tom 1.
shortcut 4. And I'm going to actually rearrange the order of these toms. And I can do that
Floor tom 2,
by holding control and shift and using the left and right arrows while the drum is selected that I want to move. Like in this case, the second floor tom is selected. So if I hold control and shift and move it over to the right 3 times,
floor tom 2 is after rack tom 3 now.
it'll now move floor tom 2 after rack tom 3. So if I go to the
Floor tom
toms,
1, rack tom 1, rack tom 2, rack tom 3, floor tom 2,
so
floor tom 1.
I'm going to do the same thing with the first floor tom.
Floor tom 1 is after rack tom 3 now.
Now the toms are in order from rack tom 1 to floor tom 2.
Rack tom 1.
And the reason why I did it that way is because I like it that way. As far as other kit pieces,
Snare,
you can actually hit enter to sample them.
kick,
So,
snare,
alright, cool. Now, what's neat is you can also change the kit pieces out. And in order to get into the dialogues for the kit piece, I'll select the kit piece I want, in this case the snare, and I'm going to hit the down arrow key, and it's going to bring you to...
dialogue snare, package EZDrummer 2 modern.
Now this is where you can actually change the expansion in which the snare drums are loaded from. For this demonstration, I'm actually going to choose something from a different expansion.
Context menu, claustrophobic C. Drums of destruction D.
How about the drums of destruction expansion? So I'm going to hit
Dialogue
enter,
snare, package drums of destruction.
and it's going to tell me that I'm going to be picking drums from the drums of destruction expansion now. So I'm going to hit tab.
P6X13DW edge MIDI in, not in selected package.
That was the original snare. If I hit enter, I can actually sample the pad. As you'll notice, it's at a low velocity, but I can change that by using the left and right arrows to change the velocity as well. And then hit enter again to sample it. But to change the drums, I can actually use the up and down arrows.
None.
Now there's none, so there's no snare selected now.
55X12 Mapex Warbird Chris Adler SI.
This is a Chris Adler Signature Series snare. Same controls as always.
6X13 Mapex Bladless Panther Nomad Brass.
I'm going to use that one for now. If I hit tab again,
Volume 0.0 dB.
it'll take me to the volume option of the kit piece, which in this case, I can change the volume using the up and down arrows, which changes it by 1 decibel.
1.0 dB, 2.0 dB, 1.0 dB, 0.0 dB.
And if I hold the shift key down, it changes it by 0.1 or 1/10 of a decimal.
0.1 dB, 0.2 dB, 0.1 dB, 0.0 dB.
Meanwhile, I can still use the left and right arrows and the enter key to sample the drum. Now, if I tab once again,
Pitch 0.0,
I'll be taken to the pitch adjustment area of the kit piece, where I can change the pitch of the drum with the same exact controls as the volume, with using the up and down arrows to change it by a whole fragment,
1.0, 2.1.0.0,
and with shift to change it by 1/10.
0.1, 0.2, 0.0, minus 0.1, 0.0.
All the while still being able to use the different deals with the enter key and the arrow key. So I can always check that velocity no matter where I'm at in the kit piece section.
Menu kits.
Now here's where I can change the presets. Now the velocity changing and sampling does not work here, and the presets or the kits are specific to the package expansion in which you have loaded. So if I hit enter,
Context menu.
it'll give me a context menu where I can go through and select
Empty kitty. Default. DW, Grits USA Custom, Yamaha 9000 watt, user kit submenu, save as, save unavailable, delete unavailable D, manage in Explorer M, rescan user kits R, empty kit E, default, DW, D.
So, yeah, I'm going to keep with the kit
Menu
that I
kits.
have now with the Chris Adler snare. And if I tab again,
Dialogue snare, package drums of
it'll
destruction.
take me back around to the loop. So if I'm finished with my adjustment of the snare, I can simply hit the escape key,
Kit snare,
and it'll take me back to the main page area where I
Kick.
can switch through the pieces with the numbers or the arrow keys.
kick, snare, kick.
And if I want to, again, check any of the controls, or if I'm a little confused about some stuff, I can again press F1, and it'll give me a whole list of all the controls available.
Kit configuration page. Select kit piece using left and right arrows. You can navigate to the first piece in defined groups using keys from 1 to 8. To change the position of current piece, use Control plus Shift plus left or right arrow. Press Enter to play current piece. Press down arrow to open piece configuration dialog. You can relearn current kit layout pressing Control plus Shift plus L. You can also forget all learned layouts pressing Control plus Shift plus R.
Now, the layout learning is what I was talking about, where it scans and learns how to actually navigate the kit piece click points. It saves all that information directly to the hard drive, so you don't have to relearn the layout every time we reload EZDrummer 2 in any instance. So when I tab away from this page,
Settings and information menu.
it'll take me to the settings and information menu where you can actually make different adjustments to the software, like the ability to adjust it to work with E-drums, or pitch or pedal correction for the hi-hat, or change a few other additional features. And you can also
Context
define,
menu. Advanced submenu A. Settings submenu S.
set
as default project S.
You can make a project and set it as your defaults.
Save project.
Or you
S.
can load and save your projects and have them available to you as your own custom presets. So that's pretty much the entirety of the kit page.
Settings and
Now,
information
it's
menu.
worth noting that the settings and information menu and the presets menu are universal, so they're on both the kit and the mixer page. Now, with this having been said, I am actually going to tab again,
Preset basic.
and it's going to loop me back to the top of the preset, or top of the interface, and put me back on the presets. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go to the mixer page and show you how to use the mixer.
Page drums. Mixer.
Excuse me. And now we're in the mixer tab, and the whole interface changes to a universally configured mixer, which is actually dynamic. And by that I mean it actually changes every time you load a different preset, depending on what's available in the expansion and what is available to be used effects wise. In this case, since I just have the basic kit that comes with the software loaded, I'm just going to be presented with a basic set of channel strips for the kick, snare, toms, etc. So when I tap down,
Channel kick minus 3.0 dB.
it'll tell me that I am on the kick channel, and since the parameter selected is the volume parameter, it's going to give me the volume of the said parameter, in this case the kick. Now I'm going to take this opportunity to explain all the parameters, and you can actually cycle through the parameters holding the control key and pressing left and right.
Kick center. Kick not soloed. Kick not muted. Kick output 1.
Now the output is actually the ability to switch what output the kick is going to. So if you're actually setting up EZDrummer in multi-track output format, you can set each of these channels to go to their own output within the DAW.
Kick minus 3.0 dB.
Now this is the volume. Now to control the parameters, you can use the up and down arrows and the enter key. Excuse me. For example, for the volume, I can push up
minus 1.0 dB. 1.0 dB. Minus 1.0. Minus 3.0 dB.
And it'll change it by 2 points. It'll change it by 2 dB. Now, if I hold shift and use the up and down arrows, it'll change it by 0.2 dB.
Minus 2.8 dB. Minus 2.6 dB. Minus 2.4 dB. Minus 2.2 dB.
Now, if I want to reset the parameter to the preset's default, I can simply hold Control and press Enter.
Minus 3.0 dB.
If I hit Shift and press Enter, it will actually present me with the context menu where I can actually assign and teach the parameter to be controlled by a control surface via MIDI. A very, very nifty feature. And this works across all of the strips within the mixer. And in this case, I have
Kick, first.
kick,
Snare minus 3.0 dB.
snare,
Hi-hat minus 9.0 dB.
hi-hat,
Toms 0.0 dB.
toms,
Overhead minus 4.0 dB.
overheads,
AMB minus 9.2 dB.
ambience,
Comp minus 6.s dB.
compression,
Reverb 44.8 dB.
reverb,
One shot minus 3.0 dB.
one shot, which is the one shot pad,
Shaker minus 4.0 dB.
shaker,
Tom minus 4.0 dB.
tambourine,
Perk AMB minus 11.1 dB.
percussion ambience. And I can push 1 on the keyboard.
Channel kick minus 3.0
It'll
dB.
take me right back to the kick drum. And I'm using the left and right arrows to actually navigate through the channel strips. Now here's a feature that is pretty nifty too. You can actually select channels on the board to adjust the parameters in unison. For example, I'm going to use the kick and the snare for this. And the way you select your tracks or your strips is you're going to hold the control key and push the down arrow key.
Channel selected kick minus 3.0 dB.
And then go to the snare.
Snare minus 3.0. Channel selected snare minus 3.0 dB.
And select the snare by doing the same thing.
Kick minus 3.0 dB.
Okay, excuse me. I'm going to use control and up to do that.
Channel selected kick minus 3.0 dB. Selected snare minus 3.0 dB.
If I choose the down arrow option,
Channel snare minus 3.0 dB.
it deselects
Kick minus 3.0 dB.
everything. And if I do a control and down arrow twice,
Channel selected kick minus 3.0 dB. Selected snare minus 3.0
it selects
dB.
everything. So I'm going to control down arrow once to deselect everything.
Channel snare minus 3.0 dB. Kick minus
And I'm
3.0
going to use
dB.
control up to select the kick
Channel selected kick minus snare minus.
and the snare.
Channel selected snare minus 3.0 dB. Selected kick minus 3.0 dB.
And I'm going to go to the
Selected kick center. Selected kick not soloed.
the solo function. Now if I press enter to solo the kick,
Soloed. Selected snare soloed.
it'll solo the snare as well.
Hi-hat not soloed.
But it will not solo everything else because they're not selected.
Selected snare soloed. Not soloed. Selected kick not soloed. Soloed.
So
Selected snare soloed. Not soloed. Selected kick not soloed.
same thing with mute.
Selected kick not muted. Muted. Selected snare muted. Not muted. Selected kick not muted.
So I'm going to deselect those.
Channel kick not muted. Snare not muted.
And again, I use control plus down arrow to deselect both of those. Now, that's how you control the actual channel strips. Now, if I tab down,
Effect reverb time 48.5%.
it'll take me to the available effects for the preset. In this case right now I have a reverb,
Dynamics compression 50.5%.
dynamics compression,
Pitch heads 50%.
pitch,
Pitch cymbals 50%.
pitch, cymbals,
Mic bleed overhead 100%.
mic bleed,
Mic bleed AMB 100%.
mic bleed ambience,
Reverb time 48.5%.
reverb time.
Dynamics compression 50.5%.
Okay, it's gone back in a circle. Okay, cool. So with that in mind, it's worth noting that you can adjust the parameters of the effects the same way you would with the parameters of the mixer.
Reverb time 48.5%.
So if I go up, and if I use the up and down arrow keys, it'll change it by 10 points.
58.5%. 68.5%. 78.5%. 88.5%. 98.5%. 100%.
And if I use the shift button and up and down arrows, it'll change it by 1 point.
99%. 98. 97. 96. 95. 94. 95%.
If I hold control plus enter,
48.5%.
it'll reset it to the preset's default setting. And if I use shift plus enter, it'll bring up the context menu
Context menu.
where
MIDI learn M.
you can do the MIDI learning option again.
Effect reverb time 48.5%.
Excuse me. Now, if I tab away from this,
Mixer menu.
it'll take me to a dedicated mixer menu, and here there are 4 options.
Context menu. Drummer perspective. Default.
The drummer
Check D.
perspective, it changes the panning to basically you hear the drums as if you were behind the kit, which is the default setting.
Audience perspective A.
Audience perspective reverses the panning on all the drums and cymbals, so everything will be panned from right to left instead of left to right.
Select all channels S.
Selecting all the channels does exactly what it says on the mixer.
Reset mixer R.
And resetting the mixer resets all the parameters and values to the mixer's default for the preset.
Drummer perspective, default, check D. Mixer menu.
Cool deal. Alright. And again, once you tab past that,
Settings and information menu.
you're at the settings and information dialog again. Now it's worth noting
Preset
that
basic.
the Control P function to go to the preset is available pretty much anywhere within the interface.
Page mixer. Channel snare not muted.
So
Kick not muted.
I want to say I'm going here,
Page mixer. Channel kick not muted.
and I want to change the output.
Kick not soloed. Kick center. Kick minus 3.0 dB. Kick output 1.
And I
Context menu.
bring up the context menu by just simply pressing enter.
Output 1 check O. Output 2 O. Output 3 O. Output 4 O.
And I'm like, okay, well, I decide I don't want to do this.
Channel kick output 1.
And I want to change the preset. I can just simply Control
Preset
P.
basic.
It takes me right back to the preset. And again, if you're lost in anything, you can simply press F1, and it will give you a explanation
Page mixer.
of what to do.
Channel kick. Effect reverb time
Say, for
48.5%.
example, in the effects.
Use left and right arrow to select effects parameter. Use up and down arrow to change the parameter value, with shift for fine changes. Press Ctrl plus enter to reset the value to preset default. Press shift plus enter to open context menu.
And there you have it. And that, my friends, is how you use EZDrummer 2 with SIBIAC. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys enjoy using this software just as much as I know I will. Alright guys, well, this is G signing out saying I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, take care and have a good one.